Let's now talk about the cost allocation of support departments. So this is done as part of the evaluation of personnel and department performance. No? This is done based on the concept that many departments depend and benefit from the cost of support departments. So ano ba yung support departments? Ito po yung mga departments non-producing, no? Wala siyang direktang kinalaman sa production, pero sinusuportahan nila yung ibang departments within the company. Kasama na rin sa sinusuportahan nila yung um, uh, producing departments. So itong support departments, yung cost nila is ina-allocate doon sa iba pang department uh, based on the concept that the activities of the dependent departments, yung mga departments na sinusuportahan, act as cost drivers of support department costs. The support departments do not lose responsibility in controlling their costs, even though dependent departments may also be held responsible for the costs of support departments. So yung cost ng support department, hindi naman ibig sabihin ang 100% ang cost driver ay yung mga dependent departments. No? So they do not lose responsibility over controlling their costs. Pero partly, no, yung dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng cost yung support departments ay dahil sa ibang department. Diba? So, bigyan kita halimbawa, yung HR department, isa yung support department. Paano siya nagkakaroon ng cost? Kasi, may mga personnel, kaya di ba may HR? Kasi may empleyado. So, yung ibang department, may mga empleyado. May empleyado sa factory, may empleyado sa accounting. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga department na yan, yung factory, yung accounting, yung marketing, yung sales department, lahat sila ay nagiging dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng cost yung HR department. Kasi yung HR department, kaya nagkakaroon ng cost kasi may empleyado. Nasaan ba yung mga empleyado? Nandun sa iba't ibang department. So yung HR department, yung support department, yung dependent departments, yung ibang department. No, yung bakit ko na yan, factory, sales, etc. So yun yung logic kung bakit ina-allocate yung cost ng support department sa mga dependent departments, no? Nabanggit nga diyan sa third bullet. The activities of the dependent departments act as cost drivers of support department costs. So we will use the illustrative case on page 236A. Please read and analyze it before proceeding. So pwede mo pong i-post yung video at this point to read yung given data dun sa page 236A. So meron po tayong 3 methods na didiscusin in allocating the cost of support departments. Yung direct method, step method or sequential method, at saka yung algebraic method, yung tawag din ng iba dyan is linear method. Okay. So, based dyan sa page 236, meron tayong tatlong service department or support department. Yung materials handling, repairs and maintenance at building and grounds. Ito po yung basis ng allocation natin. For the materials handling, it will be allocated based on the cost of materials requisition. For the repairs and maintenance, based on the labor hours of service use. And for the building and grounds, square footage. Let's now demonstrate how to use the direct method. So this involves directly allocating the support department costs to the producing or dependent departments. The allocation of the cost of support departments is shown below. So ito yung direct method. So ito po yung ating computation ng allocation. Okay? So yung cost of materials handling, sabi natin, is i-allocate natin based on the cost of materials requested or requisition ng bawat department. Base dyan sa ating page 236A, ang materials requisition the assembly department ay 33 Yes, ayun, nakita ko siya sa book. And then 42,000 para kay treating department. So pag adin lang natin yung dalawang yan, so 75,000. And then i-percentage natin. So 33 over 75, that's 44%. And 42 over 75, 56%. Yung percentage po na na-compute natin sa third column, yun po yung gagamitin natin pang-allocate nung cost ng materials handling department. So base dyan sa page 236A, yung materials handling department ay merong 43,500 na cost. So i-allocate mo siya dun sa assembly and treating based dun sa percentage na nakikita mo sa screen. So the allocation is 19,140 and 24,360. Ito naman po yung allocation natin for the repairs and maintenance. So, ang basehan po niya is labor hours of service use. Ito naman po yung para sa cost ng building and grounds, which is based on square foot ng floor area. So, essentially, ang sinunod niya dyan na procedure ay yung ginawa din natin sa cost of materials. No? Tinotal natin yung basis and then base sa total, kinumpute natin yung percentage, and then yung percent na yon ang ginamit natin pang-allocate. By the way, no, para masakto siya, pwede kang gumamit ng fraction, no? Kasi pag pina-percent, minsan ang daming decimal places, so pwedeng fraction yan. Halimbawa, doon sa cost of building grounds, di ba? Pwede mong ang gamitin mo sa assembly, sa pag-allocate is 4 over 7, treating 3 over 7 sa halip ng mga percent. Pwede po yun, fraction. I'll just check no ka-record pa tayo ha. Yes, we are still being recorded. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya hindi na tayo naka-record, nagsasalita ako. Okay, next slide. The total departmental costs of the producing departments after allocation follow. So, ito na po siya. So, originally, yung assembly and treating department ay merong kanya-kanyang cost, which is 112,254 and 104,746. Nandyan po siya sa page 236A. And then, i-add mo po doon yung mga na-allocate sa kanilang cost of the support or service department. And then, ito total mo lang siya. So, ayan. So, after allocation, yun na po yung kanilang cost. 163,321 and 168,778 and 6 centavos. Yan po mga bagong total na yan, yung gagamitin para mag-costing, no? Kung ito po yung gumagamit ng normal costing, yung pong total na 163 at 168, yan po yung gagamitin na numerator para mahanap or ma-compute yung predetermined overhead rate. So, advantage of the direct method, this is the simplest method to use. Diba? Napakadali lang niya, basic math. Disadvantage, it does not recognize the interdependence of the departments. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Diba, direkta nating inallocate yung service department costs doon sa producing department. Hindi na natin isinaalang-alang na hindi lang naman producing department ang nakikinabang doon sa mga service department. Yung isang service department, pwedeng nakikinabang din sa output ng isa pang service department. Di ba? Ano yun eh? Parang chain. Yung parang magiging, ang tawag doon? Overlapping. Di ba? Yun ay hindi siya kinonsider nung direct method. No? So, hindi siya, in short, maaaring hindi masyadong saktong-saktong reliable yung allocated cost using the direct method. Next method is the step method or sequential method. So, it involves allocating the support department costs to the other departments, support and producing. So, ibig sabihin, ang pag-allocate dito, hindi siya direkta sa producing department. Yung isang support department cost, pwedeng ma-allocate sa isa pang support department. Once a cost of a support department is already allocated, no amount of support department cost is allocated back to it. So, mamaya may kita natin yan sa computation. Ang hirap niya i-explain nung wala yung computation. Okay? Then this method follows an order of priority in allocation. For our illustrative problem, we will assume, para sa step method, that the order of allocation is unang i-allocate yung materials handling cost. So, i-allocate siya sa lahat ng departments, so repairs and maintenance, sa building grounds, assembly and treating. And then yung repairs and maintenance, yung sunod na i-allocate. So, i-allocate lang siya sa building grounds, assembly and treating. Ito yung sinasabi ng second bullet ng previous slide. Balikan natin yung previous slide. Sabi ng second bullet, once a cost of a support department is already allocated, no amount of support department cost is allocated back to it. Tingnan natin yung next slide natin, number 2. So, kung mapapansin mo yung repairs and maintenance, i-allocate na lang siya sa tatlo. Sa building and grounds, assembly and training. Hindi na siya in-allocate sa materials handling. Kasi pag yung isang department cost, na-allocate na siya, hindi mo na siya pwedeng i-allocatean ng hindi mo na siya pwedeng allocatean ulit doon sa next step. Yun yung sinasabi nung second bullet nung previous slide. Kagaya niyan, di ba? Naunang i-allocate yung materials handling. So sa second step, hindi mo na isasama sa allocation yung materials handling. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng second bullet. And then third step, building and ground costs will be allocated to assembly and treating. Yung assembly and treating, yan lang yung ating producing department. So shown here, yung ating computation ng allocation. Okay, first step, i-allocate natin yung materials handling dun sa 4 na department. So, di ba, ang basis natin ay yung materials requisition. So, yung materials requisition ng 4 na department is given on your book dyan sa page 236A. Okay, so tinotal lang natin. Then, base dyan, sa total, nag-compute tayo ng percentage. Pwede pong fraction if you want. Okay, so 30,000 over 130,500 will give you 22.99%. 25,500 divided by 130,500 will give you 19.54%, and so on and so forth. And then yung percentage na yan, ang ginamit nating pang-allocate ng 43,500 na cost ni materials handling department. So yan yung step 1 natin. So ito po siya. Okay. So, kung mapapansin mo, no? Ayun yung step 1 natin, no? So, ginawa natin, no? Hindi lang masyadong kita, no? Yung 43,500 dun sa step 1, may negative sign yon. Okay? So, inallocate natin ngayon dun sa iba pang department yung cost ng materials handling. And then, tinotal natin. Step 2, yun namang cost nung building and grounds ang ating i-allocate. Yung cost ng repairs and maintenance. So, i-allocate natin dun sa building and grounds, assembly and treating. So, hindi nakasama yung materials handling. So, yung cost of repairs and maintenance, ang basehan ng allocation ay yung labor hours of service use. Okay? So, ang isasama lang natin ay building and grounds, assembly, and treating. Okay? So, ayan po siya. 5,000, 1,100, and 2,300. So, same logic po siya ng pag-compute ng percent and then allocation. So, by the way, ang ginamit po nating amount sa pag-allocate ay 46,250. Pag binasihan mo po yung book, originally, yung cost of repairs and maintenance, originally yun ay 36,250. Pero kung babalikan natin yung previous slide, yung repairs and maintenance from the original 36,250, nadagdagan na siya ng 10,000 kasi na-allocatean siya galing sa materials handling. Kaya dito sa next step, ang inallocate natin sa halip na 36,250 ay 46,250. Ito po yung ating step 2. Okay? So, ayan, yung step 2 natin. Yung 46,250 natin sa repairs and maintenance, minus natin at inallocate doon sa tatlo. Last step, yung cost of building and grounds ay i-allocate natin dun sa dalawang producing department, which is assembly and treating. So, ayan po yung ating computation, ng percentage ng allocation. At ang ginamit naman natin dito na sa pag-allocate ay 71,379.76 base dun sa total ng buildings and grounds dito sa second step. So, eto na po siya. Advantage of the step method, it partially recognizes the interdependence between departments. No, kasi 'di ba, nakita natin yung isang department, support department or service department, pwedeng ma-allocate yung cost niya sa isa pang service department. So it recognizes na ang nakikinabang sa service department ay hindi lang yung producing department, kundi yung iba pang support or service department. Pero partial lang. So nandun na rin yung disadvantage na, no? It does not totally recognize the interdependence between departments. Ito pong disadvantage na to ay nareremedyohan ng algebraic method. So the algebraic method involves the development of equations based on the interdependence of the departments with each other. An improvement from the step method, no? Itong algebraic method. Because costs are allocated back to all departments even if its cost is already allocated. Hindi kagaya ng step method, di ba? Yung step method, pag yung isang support department na-allocate na yung cost niya, hindi na siya pwedeng allocatean doon sa susunod na step. Dito hindi, no? Pag kahit na-allocatean na yung or kahit na-allocate na yung cost ng isang support or service department, pwede siyang ma-allocatean ulit nung galing sa iba pang department. So talagang overlapping, no? The usage of all departments by the service of the other departments must be expressed in percentage. So makikita natin yan mamaya sa solution. And then based on these percentages, equation will be developed for the support departments. Ito po, yung percentage na dinevelop natin base dun sa given sa book sa page 236A. So, ang gagawin mo lang po dyan is ipa-percentage mo yung pakinabang ng isang department or yung pakinabang ng mga department sa services ng isang support department. Tingnan mo yung materials handling, no? So yung materials handling, base dun sa materials requisition, ayan, nilagyan lang natin ng percent. Actually, nasa book siya, dagdag lang tayo ng column for the percentage. No? So, paano mo i-interpret yung ano na to, itong table na to? Ang ibig sabihin lang po nito ay yung repairs and maintenance, 22.99% ng service ng materials handling ay siyang nakikinabang. Samantala, si building and grounds, 19.54% ng serbisyo ni materials handling siyang nakikinabang. Si assembly department, 25.29% ng serbisyo ni materials handling siyang nakikinabang. And so on and so forth na po yan. Applicable din po sa ibang department yan. So, pagmasdan nyo pong mabuti, i-compare nyo po doon sa given sa book. You can pause the video at this point para ma-analyze mo ng mabuti itong table na to. So, based on the table above, the following equations will be develop. Okay. For the materials handling department, ang kanyang cost ay 43,500 plus 16% ng cost ni B, which is B stands for the Building and Grounds Department. Si repairs and maintenance, ang cost niya 36,250 plus ayan, 0.2299 ng materials department plus 10% ng building and grounds. Si B, yung building and grounds, ang kanyang cost, maliban dun sa 35,350 na sarili niyang cost, meron pa siyang 19.54% nung kay materials handling at 59.52% nung kay ano ba yung R? Repairs and maintenance. So, pause the video again para makita mo saan galing sa table yung equation na to. Mga equation. So, nire-write ko po dito yung tatlong equation na na-develop natin from the previous slide. So, we will solve this equation using substitution. So, medyo algebra po ito, no? Yung naalala niyo yung linear equation. Yan, so 'di ba, meron tayong iba't ibang solution. Pwedeng graphical, pwedeng substitution, pwedeng cancellation. Cancellation nga ba yung tawag doon? Elimination. Yon, elimination method. So, ang ginamit ko po dito is substitution method. Okay? So, baka po kailangan yung i-recall yung inyong high school algebra for this. Okay? Kasi hindi ko po siya isinama sa slide. Kayo na po yung bahalang mag-review yung high school algebra nyo regarding linear equation. So, ang una ko pong sinubstitutan ay yung equation R. Yan, nire-write ko po siya. So, R equals 36,250 plus 0.2299 times yung M, pinaltan ko nung equation M. Yan, 43,500 plus 0.16B plus 0.10B. So, algebra tayo dyan. No? Ayan, eto na yung kalalabasan niya. So, bahala na kayo dyan algebra, no? Kasi hahaba masyado yung slide kapag pinakita ko pa dito. Basta yan yung lalabas dyan. Okay? The next thing I did here ay yung B equation naman yung sinubstitutan ko. Ayan. So, yung M, ayan, pinaltan ko. Ayan. Okay. So, ayan. At ang lalabas naman po dyan ay ito. Okay? Next. Next, we substitute the developed equation R equals 46,250 plus 0.1368B. Galing po yan doon sa previous slide. No? To the other developed equation. Okay? So, yung dalawang developed equation natin from the previous slide, yung dalawang blue, isa-substitute natin sila sa isa't isa. Okay? So, yung R, ilalagay ko doon sa, yung R equation na blue, ilalagay ko doon sa B equation. So, ito po yung naging resulta niya. Ito po siya. Okay, and lalabas ang B equals 80,382. And then next, yung B value, we substitute the B value to the original M equation as shown here. Ayan. Okay, yung M equation natin, originally nakalagay doon is plus 0.16B. O, nilagay ko lang yung 8382 dyan. So, meron na tayong value ng M. And then lastly, we substitute the B value to the developed R equation. So, yung R equation natin na naka-blue, nandun sa taas, ayan, sa taas ng ating slide, ilalagay ko lang yung B value doon. So, meron na akong 57,246. So, take note yung substitution, para dito sa R, pwede mo rin siyang gawin dun sa original R equation. Dito kasi, dun ko siya nilagay sa developed na R equation. No? Pwede din po dun sa original R equation. So, you can pause the video at this point, no? Para medyo magets-gets mo yung nangyari dito kasi algebra po ito. So we now have the three values that will be simultaneously allocated as shown below. Yan. So, nangyari dyan, no, inallocate natin yung mga na-develop nating amounts, yung naka-red. Yan. Inallocate natin siya. Ang ginamit natin dyan, yung mga percentage na nandun sa original problem sa page 236A. Okay. So, just take note na meron po dyang rounding errors. Ha? Hindi po siya saktong-sakto. And then, the totals for the assembly and finishing departments will be used in developing the overhead application rate if normal costing is used. Yun nga po yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? Yung bagong total ng assembly at finishing na 167 something and 164 something, yan po yung gagamitin na pag-compute ng predetermined overhead rate sa bawat department. So, algebraic method, ang advantage niya, most accurate of the three methods kasi nire-recognize niya yung total dependence ng mga departments sa isa't isa. Ang disadvantage nga lang niya, tedious, no? Masyado siyang matrabaho lalo na pag marami ka ng department. Oh, kung manual, no? Pero ngayon naman may mga computer ka na, no? So pwede na rin siyang ma-solve using a computer.